Would you like to earn yourself some extra money this Christmas? Maybe you want to buy a gift for your friend, for your family. Maybe you want to donate some money to charity. Well, why don't you check out Profit Accumulator? So to find out more and to sign up, check the link in the description and get involved right now with Profit Accumulator. Hi and welcome along to the All Guns Blazing podcast with my man DT, brought to you today by Profit Accumulator. The link is in the description if you want to find out more information about that and maybe earn yourself a few extra quid for Christmas. And of course, we do the matchups. Last week's matchup was a good one. We got a good one for you. I got a good one for you today because we're looking ahead on the podcast to the crunch game. Crunch game, man, against Burnley. Now, I've got a head-to-head for you, right? Both teams, yeah? Burnley, well, the Burnley are known for, you know, remember Cesc Fabregas described it as anti-football. These sort of teams that just sit in, put 10 men beyond the ball and just catch you on the counter and stuff like that. Burnley's known for that, aren't they? Under Sean Dyche. Most anti-football football team, right? Stoke, when they were in the Premier League under Pulis, or Burnley under Dyche?
Stoke.
Why?
Because they're all a bunch of wankers.
You can't say that.
I can. Sorry. I can.
You're not going to Stoke anytime soon. You see,
I don't want to.
This is what he does, yeah? When he knows he ain't got to go to a game.
Nothing to do with that. I've said it all along.
We might draw him in the FA Cup or something like that and you've got to go out there.
Listen, you didn't need COVID to socially distance when you were in Stoke.
No, you know what?
I will, because I tell you what, no.
They're fans. Right. I know the Ramsey thing, but they're fans.
Their fans are passionate, right? I give them that. Great, yeah, wonderful, lovely, everything else. But their fans openly mocked and sung, disgusting songs about Arsene Wenger. I ain't even got
so did you.
Hey, no, I just wanted him out. I didn't mention things about sweets and stuff like that. We know what songs we're on about here, Robbie, and the things that they used to do. And then the whole Aaron Ramsey thing, as though it was Aaron Ramsey's problem. Rugby club, Stoke, exactly where they belong. Not in the Premier League. And Burnley have got an unbelievable chip shop.
They have got an unbelievable chip shop.
Amazing.
I'm going to tell Kevin Campbell as well. His son plays for Burnley.
I know Burnley.
Kev?
Stoke.
Oh, sorry, Stoke. Kev, you heard what he said about Stoke.
Kev, I love you, and your son's an unbelievable talent. But Stoke, no.
Clip this for Kev's a big guy, you know?
Yeah, listen. Me and Kevin known each other a long time.
Oh, you're grovelling now.
No. But what I will say is that I can guarantee if his son never leaves, Kev will back me.
Actually, you know what? I'm being a bit harsh maybe saying Burnley anti-football team because you've got to give them a lot of credit for how long they've stayed in this league. But we're going to get onto that in a minute. Also, there's another thing I wanted to do, yeah? I wanted to show you this. Let me see if we got that thing? Cheers. Right. Bloody hell.
That was a good catch.
Right.
Better than Runnison.
Right. Here.
Right, what?
Show us how to take a throw-in. You were so you were so passionate about it the other day, right?
So your hands have to go behind your head and the ball has to be released. What you don't do is go like this, which is what Bellerin does. You go behind your head.
What's your man going to break up the smash up the studio, bro?
Hey!
You know what I mean?
It's a great throw-in. Do you know what I mean?
That's a bit like Rory Delap's.
There you go. Hey! Big Lord.
Remember that throw? That was a weapon,
mate,
man.
Now that was a throw.
And you know, I see Arsenal the other day doing long throws.
I can't remember.
Yeah, they were doing long throws. Who was taking them? Was it Saka? I can't remember, but Arsenal were doing... Tierney was doing long throws into the box.
Yeah, they weren't like
They weren't as good as down.
The laps were like
the laps ones were amazing. Amazing throws, man.
Real. But yeah, that's how you take a throw in.
All right.
And you can see that it's very, very simple to do.
You know, you release the ball, it goes behind your head, you throw.
All right,
but it's his movement. He kind of goes down.
Yeah.
And that's the motion because it's like the ball doesn't leave his hands here where it should do. It stays and then it goes down.
Yeah.
And that's
I don't even understand why throw it down into the ground anyway, because you're losing. It's not like you're getting any more trajectory or anything like that when you do that. So Anyway, so that's how to take a throw. So we cleared that one up as well. You're laughing, so maybe you've got over last weekend. Another defeat, this time in the North London derby to our arch rivals. It hurt.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't really lay a glove on them. And 2 great goals by them and another loss. 15th in the table. All right, I know against Dundalk, 4-2, who cares? We already won that. It's great to see Balogun score and some of the youngsters. But at the end of the day, it's about the Premier League.
Of course.
And we are dreadful in the Premier League at the moment. 11 games in the Premier League this season, right?
Yeah.
Remember, we only played 38. That means we're like nearly a third of the way through, yeah? 11 games, 6 defeats. 6 before Christmas. Not even by the start of December. 6 defeats, 4 wins, 1 draw. 15th in the table.
Yeah.
I think had it not have been for the fact that the teams below us are so bad in, you know, Fulham and West Brom and those teams, Burnley, we would be possibly in a relegation zone now, right?
Could be.
This weekend against Burnley at home, and there'll be 2,000 fans in there.
Yeah.
This game is an absolute must win. It's crunch time for Mikel Arteta in my view, right? If he wins this game, relieves a lot of pressure. People start to look on it and say, okay, all right, maybe. If he, you know, because let's be honest right now, last week against Tottenham, we were all hoping, we all think, you know, form goes out the window, stuff like that. But we know they're miles ahead of us at the moment. They're top of the league. We are where we are, right? This game, Burnley are below us.
Yeah.
Burnley have had a shocking start to the season. If we don't win this game, and I don't think a draw would be acceptable either, Mikel Arteta is going to be under huge pressure.
Yeah, he will be. He will be under huge pressure. And, you know, what we need to do over these next 4 weeks before January is get through these and actually start picking up some good results. And, you know, we've got Burnley, we've got Southampton next Wednesday at home, and then we've got Everton away. Not going to include Manchester City because it's the Carabao Cup, so we're only going to talk about the Premier League. And then we've got Chelsea at home on Boxing Day, and that concludes our December.
Then so, Brighton, oh,
is it Brighton as well?
Brighton on Thursday the 29th.
Yeah, concludes. Sorry.
And let me just go through those games, yeah? Right? Now, first of all, we're going to come to Burnley, but Southampton at home, difficult game.
Yeah.
They're on fire.
Yeah.
Brilliant counter-attacking team. If you give them any sort of set pieces with that Ward-Prowse, you're in trouble. Everton, even though they've had a big dip, but at home, you know, good team. Calvert-Lewin, Richarlison, James Rodriguez, quality team. Chelsea, we all know what Chelsea have been doing bits this season.
Yeah.
And Brighton away, and even Brighton away, even though they've lost quite a lot of games, they're a good little side, man. The way they play, Lamptey, Welbeck in there now, Mopé, you know what I mean? Lots of pace, lots of counter-attacking football, which we haven't been able to cope with this season. It's crunch time, man.
It is, and I'm looking at that, 15 points, you know, available. I think when you look at the current situation and everything, if you took 10 points out of 15, given the form we're in at the moment, suppose that would be a minimum requirement, I would say. Not what I want 15 points out of 15. That would be
10 points.
I'm saying minimum. So what you would have in those 5 games would be 1 defeat, 1 draw, 3 victories. And given the current situation, that at a minimum would be...
And if he doesn't get that?
Then the pressure's going to be really on. And you know my thoughts, and I back
no,
him
but
all
if
the way.
Hold on. If he doesn't get that, stop skirting around it.
I'm not skirting around it. I'm saying the pressure's really going to be on.
No, the pressure's on. Is it time for him? If he didn't get 10 points minimum, as you said, absolute minimum out of those games, is it time to move him on and then get someone else in January when the money comes in?
No, because I still believe...
No, but you just said...
No, I'm saying what I want as a minimum is 10 points out of 15. Not that if he doesn't get it, he needs to go.
You wouldn't have allowed Emery that?
We want about... Emery had over a full season at the club. let's stop the comparisons now, right? Because Unai Emery...
Oh, you've got to make comparisons.
No, you don't make comparisons because Unai Emery had over a full season. He had full transfer windows. He had everything. Unai Emery bottled a final and lost us the Champions League places. There was a reason. It was when we went into the following season. And if you remember, in Unai Emery's first season as well, we had a horrendous November, December. I think we went 2 months without a victory or something along them lines. I can't remember what the exact stat was.
Also had a great run.
Yeah. But then it was coincided with that straight after. So what I'm saying is that Unai Emery had a full season. He went through the downs, the ups, and everything else, and we rode it out. So what I'm saying is that only 4 months ago we won the FA Cup. We had a fantastic end to the season. Mikel Arteta is now in his first season. We've got to ride the rough with the good times.
Not exactly the first season. He had
his first.
He had half a year last year.
First full season. It is factual that it's Mikel Arteta's first full season. There's no ifs, no buts.
But he hasn't just arrived, though. You're trying to make out like he just arrived.
I'm not trying to make out. I'm not trying to make out. I'm trying to explain. He was in charge last.
He took over last December.
Yes, and I'm trying to explain that this is his first full season. Okay, he's had one transfer window, like summer transfer window, and it wasn't even a summer transfer window like normal because everything was just all over the place with COVID and whatnot. He's still playing with half a team that are part of a...
Getting any excuses,
no, it's not, Robbie, it's not an excuse, it's a fact.
No, but let me just say this,
it's a
right?
Fact.
All right, let me say this, yeah? Unai, if we would have done this same show on Unai Emery in December of 2018, right? Right? Yeah? Mm-hmm. We would have been saying the same thing, innit?
No.
We'd have been, oh, wait a minute. At this stage, right, we would have been saying, this is his first season, he's had one transfer window, he's inherited a lot of Arsene Wenger's players. But yet still, he was doing way better.
Robbie, I'll tell you what the difference is.
No, but is that true or false?
It's not, because I'll tell you what the difference is. Huh? Unai Emery had a shocking 2-month period, right? But what gave him grace was that start that he had.
Yeah, and unbelievable
start. So what it did was paper over what was really happening in front of us and how bad it was.
But he did better with what he had.
No, listen. First and foremost, his start at Arsenal was better than the start than Arsene Wenger had at Arsenal. Does that make him a better manager than Arsene Wenger? No, it doesn't. He had a start where even during those 20-odd games, you were going, Jesus, man, we're lucky to get out there and not losing that one today. And you still
won them.
Yeah, listen, you still got through it. We were also part of that run were Europa League games, right? Right now, people are going, nah, let's not include Europa League games and that we're actually winning on a Thursday. They're dismissing it. No, that don't count for nothing. But when it was under Unai Emery and it's part of his run of 20-odd games, oh, yeah, we'll include it because it makes the record look better. This is the difference. People use and pick and choose what they want.
No, but so are you doing that in a way
I'm not doing that.
Because I'm saying...
I'm not doing that.
You are. Because this thing about inherited players, he inherited Wenger's players as well. Those same players, some of them are still here, right? He inherited Ozil. He inherited all these sort of similar sort of players as well.
Yeah,
and at that stage...
he had a full backing
and at that
for
stage,
a full season.
And at that stage, he'd only had one transfer window also.
He had the backing for a full season. He had the entire backing.
Yeah, but he was doing what I'm saying. He was doing much better in the league. It weren't until near the end when I mean, remember, we should have got into the top 4. You said it yourself. So but he did much. He was doing much better.
The end.
Up until this period, I will
stay on record now that by the end of this season, Mikel Arteta is still in charge. By the end of this season, we will have had a better season than Unai Emery's first one. And I'll say that.
Do we finish 5th?
I still feel
we finished 5th and we got to the final of Europa League
season. We will still have a better
season. What makes you think that?
Because I just got a feeling that we're going to turn a corner.
Got a feeling?
Yeah, I do. What? You're going to mock me because I've got a feeling, and I've got hopes in my manager, and I've got actual thoughts that he is going to change it round. And I know what's around the corner. I know we're close to getting rid of so much of the deadwood.
You got a feeling.
And?
You've had that feeling all year. You had a feeling last week we beat Tottenham. Didn't happen. You had a feeling we beat Villa. Didn't happen.
So?
You had a feeling
What?
we beat Leicester.
You're having a go at me for having a feeling that my team's going to actually win and do something.
No, but I'm
Make
just
your
saying.
mind up.
Yeah, but sometimes you've got to go with your head.
I am going with my head. And I can still see that things will change. And I can still believe that things will change. And I do.
Give me the evidence. We're in a court of law. You give me the evidence that convinces me.
You've got to prove beyond any reasonable doubt.
Yeah.
That's if you're in a court of law, this ain't no...
You haven't even got to do it.
Listen, there's a difference between civil courts and criminal courts. In a civil court...
Know about courts, eh?
Listen. So, in a civil court, right, it's based on the balance of probability. So, you only have to have that 1% in there, all right? But in a criminal court, then it's beyond reasonable doubt. So, you have to find beyond any reasonable doubt.
All right, we'll take that court.
So,
give me...
Just saying.
Give me the evidence.
The evidence is that when Mikel...
He's going to have a better season than Emery. Give me the evidence.
Right, because he can get good out of players. He can, beat the best managers. He can do the right things. And that was proven in the fact that we'd won the trophy already. So already he outdone Unai Emery's legacy by winning a trophy. So he's already outbeaten his legacy in that respect. And there's no doubt in that.
FA Cup. What about the league?
Doesn't matter. But I'm saying in terms of what they've achieved at Arsenal, Mikel Arteta has achieved more than Unai Emery. Fact.
Trophy.
Right?
Yeah.
So in terms
in the FA Cup.
So in terms of that, in terms of all of what I've just explained, I do believe that we're going to come around the corner and turn it around.
You've explained stuff in the FA Cup. The league.
It was in the league as well.
The
we had
Premier
some very
League.
Good league results under Mikel Arteta
We finished
last season.
8th in the league.
Yes, but look what he inherited. This is what I'm trying.
This thing keep
this
inheriting
is the thing,
stuff.
Because
man.
this is the other comparison. When Unai Emery
inherited the same
when
thing.
Unai Emery came in,
Emery had to directly take over from Wenger.
When Unai Emery come in, he was the second manager, right? He had all his backroom staff, his CEOs, all these people that done everything, all there. There was no movements, no anything at all in that respect when he first started. Mikel Arteta has came in. He's the 4th manager within the space of 2 seasons now. He's had to deal with 4 different CEOs or director of footballs or whatever it's called. He's literally like the summer transfer window just gone. Whilst we're in the midst of trying to negotiate deals and signings, Raul Sanelli gets taken out of the club as well, who's meant to be Don Raul, the man that does all the transfer dealings. There's been so many things that have gone against Mikel Arteta.
Emery had to go through the same thing.
No, he didn't.
Emery,
when Emery first started at Arsenal, did he have to deal with that immediately? It was months down the line
wait a minute,
when Ivan Gazidis left.
1 second. Emery didn't even have any control over transfers. He was just the head coach, yeah? All of the players were signed for him, and his job was just go and coach them. He's even come out since and said, I wanted players like Zaha and that, and didn't get them, yeah? Because he had no say over it. Mikel Arteta has been given control of transfers. They've changed his title from coach to manager. Mm-hmm. So the signings he's bringing in now, they're his signings. Willian's is, Gabriel, Partey, 2 great signings. Cedric. These are his. Well, maybe not the Cedric one because that was sort of more done January time. Pablo Mari. So I won't add those 2 into it. But he's got more control over transfers than what Emery had.
Yeah, and
Emery had to come in directly after Wenger, which is always going to be really tough. You're coming in after such a big name. Yeah, right. And I'm saying if you was to do a show, if we'd have gone back and did a show with Emery at the start of December, like how we're doing this show at the start of December, the first year into their tenure, Emery is doing way better than what Arteta's doing. And that's why I'm asking, where's your evidence?
But this
apart
is
from
I'm
FA Cups in the league, where's your evidence?
This is why I'm saying to you, the start that Unai Emery had is what gave him the leeway for such a poor 2 months.
But he finished 5th.
Yes, we bottled. I'm not taking that. We finished 5th. No, we bottled the top 4.
No, we finished 5th.
We bottled the top 4.
We bottled. We did. I agree with you. We bottled. I agree with you. We bottled the top 4.
Yeah. So,
but we finished 5th. You're saying that you feel that this season he will do better Right, so you're saying that Arteta's going to get us into the top 4?
Like you was even saying a couple of days ago, you think we'll finish in the top 6.
No, I said, I look at the team and I say that's a top 6. Our team is like a top 6 team. Anything above that is overachieving based on the players we've got. But you're saying you feel he'll do better than Emery. Emery got 5th.
You know the one of the reasons why as well, because I genuinely think this season is one of the poorest Premier League seasons we're ever going to see. Because nobody apart from Spurs, Liverpool, City, that are kind of, well, I say City and Liverpool in terms of the two that you expect to, be up there. Liverpool most definitely up there. I know Man City had a really slow start and they're just starting to creep along now. Everyone else has been relatively poor. Yeah, I'd say Southampton's had a good season.
Relatively poor, but we've been amongst the poorest.
And there's a prime example as well. Southampton, stick by the manager. Don't let the outside world or anyone else's thoughts or opinions deflect you from what they believe in. They lost 9-0 to Leicester.
Very
and everyone
true.
was, get him out. He's got to go. He's out of his depth. And they literally just kept it in-house. And yes, the expectations will be lower at Southampton. It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
Yeah, listen, I've just said there's a different expectation level at Southampton and whatnot, but it's still very difficult to stick by someone that's just lost 9-0. It's very difficult to not buckle under the pressure of your team losing 9-0. We're not talking a 2-0, 3-0 or something. Like Aston Villa was embarrassing.
Losing 6 games... Losing 6 games out of your first 11,
it's not great.
As an Arsenal manager, is the equivalent of losing 9-0, if not worse. It is. When you're managing a big club like Arsenal.
Look.
If he was managing, let's be real about it now, if he was managing City, if he was managing Chelsea, if he was managing any other top clubs across Europe, Bayern, I don't know, Juventus, you know what I mean, or PSG, or any big clubs, he'd be gone with that starting record, wouldn't he?
Well, you're talking about teams like PSG and that, of course, because their league's absolute awful. So if they lost 6 games in their league, then something is wrong.
Okay, well, even looking even in the Premier League, he'd be gone, wouldn't he? He's managing Chelsea, he'd be gone.
Well, yeah, because the money that Chelsea were given. Of course you would be, because
City,
you've been given you've been given all of the tools to succeed. You would have been given the funds to get what you want. I need an attacking midfielder. I need a defensive midfielder. I need a right back. I need a striker.
Even possibly Tottenham he'd be gone. Look at how they got rid of Pochettino. Even Leicester. Leicester won the league. The next season, Ranieri was in a similar position. They sacked him.
You see what it is, because with Leicester's...
That's true though, isn't it?
With Leicester's situation, and again, the manager had already been there. There was a full season. This is what you're not taking into consideration. Arteta has not been there for a full job. Yes, it's a big job. But everyone get off his back. Maybe you'd actually have an easier time of actually managing the club if people got off his back.
People don't want to be on his back.
Some people do.
Oh, good.
Some people do.
The rats again, right?
I don't even want to talk about
people don't really... I get the vibe that, all right, you might have a few people that they just didn't like him from day one. I think the majority of fans didn't really want him initially, right? Me included, I was like, is this... But when he's got the job and when he's come in, I loved what he did in the FA Cup. I like Mikel Arteta and I really, really want him to succeed. And I think generally in fans, they don't want him to be sacked. Arsenal fans, I think, if you did a general poll across all Arsenal fans, I think it would come back, vast majority of them saying, no, we don't want him to be sacked. But it's one of those that is starting to get to that if he start pulling things around, that's going to turn. He has to beat Burnley this weekend. Has to.
We will beat Burnley.
Has to.
We will beat Burnley. What more do you want me to say? I'm telling you, we'll beat Burnley.
I can't be sure, man.
I can.
Normally, great record against
We'll beat Burnley. We're also going to find out whether the 2,000 fans in the stadium really does have a good effect on the team. Because we see it.
No, don't use that as an
I'm not using an excuse. I'm saying we're just going to.
No one's had fans all season. Is that a reason why?
Well, you're not listening. Do you actually listen? Honestly,
no, but you know what? I already see where you're coming with now. I already see what you're coming with, and you're going to be like, yeah, see, that was the reason.
Did you listen to what I said? When we won in the Europa League for the first time with fans in the stadium, you said that it clearly.
No, I said I wonder if it makes a difference.
No, you said that it.
But then we win any.
So what I'm saying is that we will find out on Sunday whether it does give the players a bit of a lift and a bit of a difference.
In the Europa League, they could beat
Rapid
Vienna on the moon.
Are you not listening? I said we are going to find out whether it does have some kind of effect. I've spoken to a couple of my mates that are Spurs fans, and they said that it was actually a very big lift for the players with the Tottenham fans all in that one end against us last week. We don't know what the players think or feel and what it's like. And when we're doing the watch-alongs, we don't actually watch with the sound on, so we don't know. But when I watched that Europa League game, take the opposition out of it or anything, just talk of it as an atmosphere feel, considering it's being played at 0 in terms of atmosphere. It's horrible to watch a game of football like that. Just to have that feel of fans and singing and celebration and all that kind of stuff, whether it's 2,000, 20,000, whatever it is, can have a different effect mentally on the players.
I'm sure.
I'm saying is I just want to see.
I'm sure it will give the players a little bit of a lift.
That's all I'm asking.
It will give them a little bit of lift, but we can't use that as an excuse. The fact there's been no fans.
Who said that we use
the horrific?
Don't go putting a title. Don't go putting no titles about. Oh, DT says we're going to win. Now we've got fans or something. Because I know what you like. You think you're funny. It's like, listen, can I just put something straight here as well, right? You see the player ratings for the Dundalk game as well. The title of that,
What was that?
Was why can't we do this in the Premier League?
That's what you said.
I never said it. I watched the whole entire programme back. Not once did that come out of my mouth.
You did said that. You said
not
why can't
once.
You
not
said
once.
Yes, you did.
No, it didn't. I've watched the whole.
You said why can't we play like this?
On the way here today, on the way here, because when I saw that title, I went, I didn't say that.
You did.
And I went, hold on a minute. And I went, looked in the comments. I thought, look at everyone questioning me like I thought, wait there. Played it in my car, sound on inside the car for all of you that want to question whether I was hands-free or not, So I played it on in the car. I listened to the whole entire episode and not once did them words leave my mouth.
Why can't we play like this in the Premier League?
Not once. Not once in the player ratings did they leave my mouth.
Why can't we play like that in the Premier League?
He asked
right?
that, not me.
You know what?
No, I'm just clearing that up. I'm just making that clear.
As you've raised that, why can't we play like that in the Premier League?
Don't know.
You seem to have a lot of excuses.
Talk to my solicitor.
Do you know what it is, right?
I'm in court. Talk to my solicitor.
Do you know what it is with Mikel Arteta?
No comment.
You know what it is with this Mikel Arteta situation, yeah? You've hung your thing on Arteta.
Hung my what?
You've hung your name and reputation on supporting Arteta so much, right?
No, because...
Wait a minute. Go on.
You've
hung it on it so much, criticising people of being rats because... They have not supported Arteta.
No, I haven't.
Digging out various people, and now, right? You're like, you cannot afford to go against what you said because you just don't want to lose face on it.
Again, you're completely fabricating the truth because that is completely wrong.
I'm not fabricating the truth.
I have said countless times, you can have your opinion on the manager, you can want him out. If you're respectful about it and that's your opinion, that's cool. The people I call rats are the people that are being personal and abusive towards the manager, that are actively looking for defeats to boost their own argument. This is the difference here, Robbie, and countless times I've had to explain this. It's not that. It's, I've seen people out there, even to the Dundalk game, tweeting players after the game saying certain things about that like, this is what I'm trying to say to you, Robbie, that there's the difference what I'm trying to explain between rats and, you know what I mean? And I've, to the blue in the face, I've tried explaining this, and there is a difference in that. I'm saying that if you remember when we was in Azerbaijan, and we all went out there, Baku, you know how angry we were, you know how angry troops was, I was, you were, whatever it was, right? I think there was a part of you that even thought that we're all going to be Emery out. at that point because we'd bottled top 4 and we'd completely blown. If you remember them last remaining games in the Premier League, when we Brighton at home, Palace won it, and then when we'd put Jenkinson right back, and then the away defeats, when we were getting humiliated away from home and stuff, and then to go and compound all of that with travelling halfway around the world, all the problems we had to get to Azerbaijan, and then not beaten by Chelsea, but humiliated. At that point, I think deep down, you even probably thought, you know what? They're going to be Emery out right now. They're livid, me and Troops. But we still backed him. Going into next season, we still backed him. So it wasn't a case of reputation because we backed, and I say we because Troops was the same going through, but I speak for myself that I backed Emery all the way through. It fell apart, and I didn't just change my tone and go, I can't change my tone because I wanted Wenger out. And I was like, nope, still back my man. Right to the point where it just kept going down and down and down. And then it was like, wow. And then if you remember that Europa League game just before he got sacked, wasn't it?
Frankfurt, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it was the final straw. And you saw how all the fans had turned by this point. It wasn't a minority, it was a majority. It was poisonous again at games. We were going to away games and fans were fighting because, they had difference of opinions over players and manager, and it was all like the Arsene Wenger scenario again, right towards the end, that toxic, horrible place to be. And it had to happen. And I openly said, I've tried to back him, I've been there and done everything, and now it's time to go. And the same would happen with any manager of this football club if I believe at the time it's right. I'm not going to do something when somebody tells me.
Yeah, that's what
I'm not going to do that.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I feel it's very similar at the moment in Arteta, in that that's why he needs this win badly this weekend because it's just starting to bubble up a bit. I think fans really want him to succeed. I really do. I don't think, I don't think there's a groundswell of fans that the majority of fans will like sack him. But I do think that if he was to lose to Burnley, that intensifies. He has to win that game.
Yeah, he does.
It's absolutely huge. You know what I mean? And I'm so praying that we get through that game. And there's so many other things in that game as well. Like
it's life for football, Robbie. Because at the end of the day, we're sitting here recording this podcast now, right? The next one we film, we would have played Burnley and Southampton. So we're either going to be sitting here having this same discussion as to how long it's going to continue. Jesus, went then. How long we're going to have this continuing for, or we're going to be sitting here going, 2 wins on the bounce, lovely. How nice is that, DT? Brilliant, isn't it? Lovely.
Going to that Everton game with confidence.
And that's what I'm saying. So that's the beauty of football in some respects. That
either the beauty.
Or the beast.
Or the beast.
Yeah.
Right.
And that is it. It is, and that's one of them things. You can either be going into the Everton game full of confidence, or you could be going into it thinking, boy, we're in a mess. And then we end up winning it. And then you're sitting there scratching your head even more sort of thing. But we've got to win our next 2 home games. And all I was saying about the fans is that not that it will have an effect or not having them there has had an effect. I'm just saying, it would be nice to see in the Premier League now, because we've seen it in the Europa League and how good it looked, whether it does have a little jab in the arm to the players. That's all I'm trying to say, because it might be just to go out there and have 2,000 fans just pushing you on and just giving you that little boost when something might not be going all right, or you need a goal, or whatever it might be.
Let's start looking at a sort of team that he might put out, or the team that you'd like him to put out in that game.
Yeah.
Obviously, we know the goalkeeper will be Leno. By the way, the Renison looks decent, man, but he looks a bit
shaky.
Yeah, he's young, isn't he? He's young. He's very inexperienced. I just worry about if he had to come in for a sustained period.
I know what you're saying.
Maybe, I mean, it's a bit like Ty said the other day. Alex Manninger, when he came in, we all thought the same thing, and he was excellent. So.
You know what? Some people need to also remember that Emi Martinez, when he made appearances for us when he first came along at the club, from back in the day, I'm not talking recently, he looked like a shaky young goalkeeper. And ironically, you was mentioning about your very first ever AFTV interview, the Reading game, and he was the goalkeeper. Do you remember one of the goals? He went to dive and he punched it, and he actually punched it into the goal. Massive error. And then towards the end of the game, before Shamak had scored the final goal, it was 6-5, and he had the ball in his hands to tie down, and he obviously see a break at the other end, but it was the situation, and he's hoofed it long, and it went straight back to their goalkeeper, and Wenger's on the touchline, going mental at him. So naivety, the youth and everything else. Emi Martinez was the same. So you've got to give Runarsson the benefit of the doubt.
No,
hopefully
I'm going to give him time. I'm going to give him time. We're giving him time, as I said. It's just the fact that if anything happened to Leno, he'd be in.
Yeah.
Right. So, give me your defenders.
Cedric.
For the game. Cedric, no Bellerin.
No chance. Not hoping else chance. Absolutely none whatsoever would I be playing Hector Bellerin.
Has he been that bad though? I know the throw-in thing, and I know it was compounded by the throw-in thing, and we were taking the mick out of it at the start, but has he actually been that bad?
Positional awareness, getting caught out all the time.
You were blaming him for 7 goals the other day. I look back at the goals.
I don't think be the only person that looks back at them goals and don't blame him.
The second goal weren't his.
The pass was horrendous. If you watched
can't say that.
Right.
The pass was horrendous, yeah?
So
but
that's
you
where
can't
it breaks
say
from. And then this is the issue.
It's a bit harsh to say that's...
Let me flip this around. Let me flip this around. Let me flip this around, yeah? And you're always going to compare players in positions and everything else. And where we want to be, best right back, in attacking sense as well, in the Premier League, Trent Alexander-Arnold. If he was in Bellerin's position, would Tottenham have scored from that? No. Liverpool would have scored. Because I guarantee his delivery would have been on point. There's the difference. Bellerin's delivery is shocking, and Tottenham literally just go boom, straight up the other end. And where do they go? Right where Bellerin's out of position. His delivery is dreadful. How many times have we sat here? This ain't me doing it now or anything. Go and look at previous videos from years gone by. How many times have I complained about his crossing, his delivery? It's dreadful. It's always been dreadful. There's no intent on his delivery. Remember at the start of the second half against Spurs, Tierney put that ball in for Aubameyang to head over the bar. You see that delivery, the pace, the direction, it had everything that you want from a cross, and that's what Tierney has. There's an actual purpose to it. He whips it. When you see Bellerin out wide, it's like he just goes, well, let me just make sure it goes in the box. Like, let me just lollipop it in there. There's no purpose to his delivery. It's just hopeful. Please, 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 hope and pray that this goes to somebody. There's no intent, no nothing. Not for me. Not for me. No, no, no. Take him out of the side. I'd play Cedric. He looks better defensively. He knows when to go, when to stay. And in the final third, he can actually cross the ball. And he can take a throw.
Okay. Right. Who else are your other defenders?
I'd bring David Luiz back.
You go 3 at the back?
No,
or
4.
All right, David Luiz.
I'd bring David Luiz back into the side because I think his distribution with the ball is important. Because I'm presuming that Burnley will play low blocks and just basically sit to defend.
And his strength as well.
We know it. And experience and everything else. So I'd have him there. I'd take Rob Holding out the firing line all day long because he's another player that's just not doing anything for me in any way, shape or form. And I think it's very evident why we tried getting rid of him to Newcastle on loan. And for people that want to sit there and say it was Mikel Arteta that made him stay, no, well, we didn't really have a choice because we went through such an injury crisis at the start of the season. If Holding would have gone, we would have literally had no defenders. It was that bad at one point, right at the start of the season, if you remember. And that's why they held on to it, because of the injury. Because Mari at that time had a setback from his return as well. All of them were out. So it was like, nah. And at the start of the season as well, you've got to remember, Gabriel didn't know how he would be.
Could have played Socrates as well, yeah.
Could have been, but he's made that very evident that he's not part of the system and what he wants, so that's his decision. Cool. So at the end of the day, listen.
Another error, isn't it?
Well, it's not another error.
What about Mustafi?
No, I don't want Mustafi to play for us again. He's made his he's made his intentions known. He's not staying. He's going. Don't get me started on that, because he should never, ever, ever be Arsenal captain in any way, shape or form.
Why?
He wants to leave.
Yeah, but whilst he's here, he's giving his all for the club.
Don't care. I'd rather build.
Oh, you want him to do?
I'd rather build.
You want him to mope around, do you?
I'd rather. Well, that's what he's done for the last couple of years. So there's no change, is it? I would rather.
Excuse me.
COVID. You right there?
What are you saying COVID for?
Can someone bring in some disinfectant, please?
Shut up. Right.
You put me right off now. But yeah, no.
Mustafi.
No,
all right, no
no.
Mustafi. So obviously Gabriel.
Tierney.
Tierney. All right. Midfield.
Mohamed El Neni.
So you're going to 3 in the midfield, yeah?
4-3-3. Yeah, /4-2-3-1.
All right. El Neni.
El Neni and probably Danny Ceballos. Not Xhaka.
And who else in it? Were you going 4-2 what?
4-2-3-1, but it can revert.
Yeah. Don't you think in a game like that, Xhaka,
No.
he adds a bit of muscle to the team? You're up against Burnley, remember? That's a very physical team.
El Neni can do the physical side of things.
Barnes, Chris Wood.
El Neni can do the physical side of things.
El Neni.
He's still physical.
No, he's not, man.
He's still
not
physical.
You know.
He can still get stuck in. Granit Xhaka's not playing for
El
me.
Neni's like a box-to-box tackler, but I'm on about physical, like up for the physical fight.
Nope.
El Neni's not a physical player.
Not after his performance last week. I wouldn't have Granit Xhaka in there.
Okay.
No.
All right. And then you're free?
I would have... Well, there's no Reece Nelson because he's injured. No Pepe because he's suspended. So the right-hand side would have to be Willian. Would have to be. And do you know what? He wasn't the worst player against Spurs.
No, he wasn't.
And his delivery was actually decent. He put some really good crosses in the box.
Great delivery if you've got Chris Woods in the box.
Yeah, great. But and if you remember the week before that,
you know, if you
remember the game before
Calvert-Lewin's in the box, the delivery's great.
You remember the game before that? I felt that he had a good performance. He was taken off, and we were quite surprised he got taken off.
Yeah, that's true actually. Yeah,
so he hasn't actually had a bad couple of games.
Couple games, yeah.
So
all right,
you know, on the left of the three, I'm gonna go back to Aubameyang over there.
Okay. Who's the number 10 position then? Who's that? Third.
I'd put Lacazette in there.
And who's striker?
Balogun.
Yeah? Balogun?
Go for it. Give it a try.
No Saka in the team?
No, I would just take him out for this week as well. Last couple of weeks, I think his work rate, you can't question that. I just feel that he's lacked a bit of cutting edge. And there's been some...
Yeah, so has everybody else.
Yeah, but he's really been noticeable.
Yeah, but at least he's been on the ball. He's been on the ball, isn't he?
No, yeah, that's fine. But what I'm saying is that I just would like to see something a little different, and I would try this.
Balogun?
Yeah.
Ahead of Eddie?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I think that he looks more of a striker that can actually cause problems. Like his physicality, you talk about physicality, he is a physical boy and he can get stuck in. His movement, which I think is going to be important for this game to try and pull Burnley out of their blocks. And his finishing.
But Eddie's got good movement. And Eddie scored. Eddie's finish against Dundalk was brilliant.
Yeah.
Eddie Nketiah is our highest goal scorer in all competitions.
This is where stats are so misleading.
He's our highest goal scorer in all competitions.
Eddie has had countless opportunities.
He's our highest goal scorer in all competitions.
Even though he scored that one goal against Dundalk, his overall performance was poor. Balogun done more
in the Dundalk game.
Yeah, his overall performance. Yeah, it was. How many times did he not lay the ball for a simple pass?
Yeah, there was a couple of times he was a little bit too greedy, but
a couple of times. That was it. Balogun done more in 20 minutes.
His performance worked poor.
Balogun done more in the 25 minutes or so that he was on the pitch than Eddie did in 60, in my opinion. Balogun was physical, dropping, winning the ball, playing the ball, got an assist, got a goal, looked a threat, looked physical.
Just straight in from the start.
I would give it a go.
That'd be bold.
I would give it. Obviously, they trust him. Obviously, they believe in his ability. And obviously, they want him to sign his new contract. Eddie's been given countless opportunities to start in the Premier League ahead of Lacazette when he was playing as the striker and stuff. Go back to last season, this season, whatever it might be. Eddie has had countless opportunities. Take the age thing out of it now. If you're good enough. I see a lot in Balogun, and a lot of us that have seen him at under 23s have raved about him for a number of years now. And he just looks...
Yeah, when did you see him at under 23?
I've seen him loads.
A lot of us.
I've seen him loads.
What was the last
Me and Ty have had loads of conversations.
The last under 23 game you
don't have to go to the under 23s, you can watch them.
You don't watch no under 23 games.
I've watched under 23 games,
How
of course
many?
I have. I've watched loads of under 23 games.
Yeah, what was the last one you watched?
Last game that I watched, hold on a minute, no, hold on. It was literally the other day when Saliba got sent off.
Yeah, apart from that one, because everyone was watching that because of the Saliba thing. But what was the last one you watched before that?
Everyone was watching it because
a lot of people were
watching.
A lot of people were watching that game because that was Martinelli's first game back. So that's why a lot of people watched it. What was the one before that you watched?
The one before that.
Yeah, the one before that. You ain't got to keep repeating what I ask you, yeah?
Trying to remember what they were now.
Oh, yeah.
It was after our last Europa League game because it was the day after because what was our last away game? Not the home game, the away one where we had to stay overnight. It was literally 2 weeks ago. Who did we... Mulder. You remember Mulder when we played them? We played an under-23 game the day after.
Against who?
I can't remember who it was now.
I didn't think so.
But we played the day after and our flight got cancelled the night back coming home. And Aziz and Cottrell, I believe it was, still went in the squad and played. Because a lot of people thought they were going to actually be bought out of the side. And they actually played, even though they came home. How would I know all that?
Because you probably saw a little clip of it on Twitter or something.
Get out of here, Robbie. Get out of here.
I know you,
Get
man.
out of here.
You're man trying to carry on like he's some big scout.
Get out of here.
Some big scouting mission
scout,
watching,
we all know
watching
about
under 23 games.
I watch some under 23 games. I always keep an eye online and have a little look and that. There's some good games in there, man. And especially because with some of the games that they've been playing, like I'll tell you one of the ones recently, we played... was it Peterborough we played in the Papa John's Trophy? Because that's the thing, with that Papa John's Trophy, you have all the... Oh, that was it, when what's his name scored against us that actually plays for us. And do you remember I was laughing? Oh, was it Trey? Was it, what was his name? It was literally a month ago.
Trey Coyle.
Yeah, and he scored against us. Gillingham.
Yeah.
We played in the Papa John's Trophy. That was another one.
You watched all 90 minutes of that game?
Yeah.
I don't believe him.
Because he equalised. We won on penalties.
You watched it.
We won on penalties, and that
Arsenal
I can't
clip
pronounce.
it up,
Right,
put it on their Instagram.
We won on penalties, and I can't remember his name. He's a little guy. Begins with C. I can't pronounce
Cottrell.
how. No, not Cottrell. And he took the winning penalty, and he done the little.
Panenka.
Yeah, little dink. I watched that game because I remember when Coyle scored and I was laughing. I was like, only Arsenal could concede the goal to a player that's actually signed by us. And I remember that because you had Zek Medley and all that playing as well and everything. Don't think I don't. Shut up, man. You know what I mean? This ain't like Ty and his fake plane journeys and everything. I've given you enough evidence there that I've been watching. I was just saying the names of the teams and everything and the games, the lot. So yeah, I do. No, I don't watch every single game and religiously watch it. That's Ty. Ty actually goes to the games and stuff like that. But I see enough to know players that are performing and doing things on a level. And he's somebody that's had the attention of everybody at the club for the last couple of years. From even the under-18s right through to the under-23s, his goal scoring has been phenomenal. So is
Eddie's. So was Eddie's.
Yep.
And then so was Eddie's even at under 21 level.
He's had countless chances in the first team. I won't even say the Premier League, but in the first team. And on countless occasions, he's flattered to deceive. He's not done enough. Okay,
give me your prediction then for the game.
3-1.
3-1.
We'll still concede.
We'll definitely concede. I do think we'll win the game. I think it's absolutely, as I said, it's a crunch game for Mikel Arteta. He's got to win it. I do think he will win it. Southampton will be a very difficult game. We can't. I think one thing that DT said it is true is that football's of really, thin margins. Win the next couple of games. Things might not look that bad. You know what I mean? Going, that could. This really could be the next couple of games. Those games that you know, bring us to life. And I think it would be really a good win, and maybe an Aubameyang getting on the score sheet, something like that, that gives us a big lift ahead of that Southampton game, because that's going to be a difficult game. Feel good factor. And, you know, those 2,000 fans in the place leaving happy, raving about the performance, that would be the perfect tonic going into the Southampton game, which is also at home.
Yep.
And get that home form back.
I'll be there.
Get that home form back. You going to it? You got a ticket for it, yeah?
Yeah, I got selected in a ballot.
I ain't been selected in nothing yet, man.
Don DT, mate. Sorry.
Maybe mine was being held over for the
maybe,
Chelsea.
Maybe I've got the
Chelsea game. Come on,
the connections.
Ballot Chelsea. That's what I want, right?
You'll get So it's after this one.
So you can't get the Chelsea game, then, can you?
Well, you never know. Could.
Once you've been selected, then you're out of there.
Do you know what's weird? I don't know, because it's platinum and gold members, but it's not every platinum and gold member. You had to have applied to put your name forward, and that had to have... I did.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. So it had to be...
It had to have been done in September originally. You can't...
Yeah, I did mine in September.
Yeah. What I'm saying is that you couldn't say in September, no, and then now go, you know what, my circumstances have changed. Yeah, I do want to jump on it. Can't do that. So I don't know how many actually said it and how quick the roundabout will be. I reckon you will get Man City or Chelsea.
Yeah, and then probably be put in tier 3, and then it won't be.
And then you can't go anywhere. Hey, listen, you say that, but I better be careful, because Tuesday, I believe it is, the 14th, is when they do the reviews.
Yeah.
So they could put London into tier 3, and then my visit on Wednesday.
Although if they do areas, because I don't think Islington would fall into tier 3.
I suppose they would do. Yeah, areas and what it might be. So it depends. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting.
Will it be good to get in there?
I'll let you know how it goes.
Yeah, well, it's either going to be a case of you want to go. If we lose on Sunday, you might not want to go on Tuesday.
Yeah, maybe not.
Or Wednesday. Anyway, listen, thanks for listening and watching the podcast today. Hope you've really, really enjoyed it. Don't forget the link for Profit Accumulator is in the description. Thanks to them for sponsoring the show. Also, thanks for you for watching the show. Keep it locked here right throughout the Christmas period. We've got some great content coming up, loads and loads of games. Don't forget to check out our watch along, starting 11s, all the programs around it. We're really busy here, but listen, loving it. It's great to see football back, and let's hope that this Sunday Arsenal can start turning their season around. Mikel Arteta can start turning his season around. Aubameyang can start turning it around. Let's have a big win this weekend. Would you like to earn yourself some extra money this Christmas? Maybe you want to buy a gift for your friend, for your family. Maybe you want to donate some money to charity. Well, why don't you check out Profit Accumulator? With the help of Profit Accumulator, you can learn an easy way to earn some extra money by using a thing called match betting. Match betting is a safe and risk-free way to make money from free bets and promotional offers given out by bookmakers. And when done correctly, you can't lose. So to find out more and to sign up, check the link in the description and get involved right now with Profit Accumulator.